All right, hey VC, how you doing? My name is Jamie. Welcome back. Good to have you here. Well, not a big surprise. We have another unboxing for you on this one, and I'm probably a little bit late to the party. You've likely seen unboxings of this already across YouTube, on the vinyl community, what have you, talking about another 50th anniversary celebration, the Beatles White Album, or the album simply known as the Beatles. Great double album from 1968, and they've released it as a Super Deluxe box set, and we just got her in there, made in Germany. Interesting. And yeah, let's take a look inside. And I've got it out of the box and just ripped off the shrink on the bottom here just a little bit so I can slip it off. And this is also in a slipcase, which is interesting. So this is the Beatles Anniversary Edition, 6 CD and Blu-ray. And this is new mixes by, is it Gilles Martin or Gilles Martin? Of course, this is George Martin's son, who now oversees most of the Beatles recordings. So as you can see there, so we'll slip that off. You'll see the slipcover kind of comes with it as well, so we'll put that down there. And there are the famous 4 photos. And then interesting that these are numbered. So this is number 99,179. So there you go. And yeah, so there's the kind of listings on the back there. I'll see if I can, don't know how much glare we've got going on there. Disc 1, disc 2, disc 3 is when you're getting into the what do they call those? The Escher demos on disc 3, and then we've got a ton of sessions going on for the rest of the discs. Discs 4, discs 5, and disc 6, and then the Blu-ray, and that's the listings of it there, with it on mono, interesting as well. But certainly the CDs, I would imagine, are both stereo mixes. So there you have it. And looks, it's got a nice weight to it, looks good, and comes with a nice slip piece like that. There you go, so that just comes right off there and revealing a nice kind of plain white cover. And certainly when the Beatles double album was released in 1968, you know, certainly with that just plain white cover, it was so different as opposed to all the psychedelic or incredible artwork covers, certainly with regards to both Magical Mystery Tour and Sgt. Pepper's, than just going for a plain white cover. It was something quite unique. And then still embossed there, the Beatles there, and with the number there, but then, yeah, just a plain white cover there. So let's take a look inside. Okay, so right off the bat, we've got the CDs housed like this. They just pop out like that, and then they give you the listings, track listings on the back, and wow, and each one embossed as well. I don't know if you can see that with the glare, maybe not. Let's see if I can hold it up for you. Nice attention to detail. There you go. Like each one, and then they just open from the top like that, and then of course inside we've got classic Beatles Apple label. But certainly the Beatles going through some difficult times with regards to this album. Certainly, you know, now certainly without their manager, Yoko Ono starting to become part of the equation. A lot of the Beatles now wanting to kind of do their own stuff in the studios, not so much work as a cohesive group. However, having said that, they do work as a group on a lot of the tracks, not necessarily all the tracks. Some of it's just one player or two players, but a lot of times the Beatles are still performing as a band. And what you do kind of forget with regards to the White Album, as opposed to even just the year before with Sgt. Pepper's, when they were, you know, really working hard in the studio, with the White Album, I think there was that initial attempt for them to get kind of back to a rocking band. When you think about tunes like back in the USSR, songs like Helter Skelter, Birthday, to name just a few, that are a bit more of a rockin' edge, like Any Good Intentions, then they get, you know, with ballads and some of the sound experimentations that are going on. But I think there was that initial desire to be kind of the rockin' band that they used to be, or at least an attempt at that. So there you have the first 3 CDs housed like that. And I don't know if they do that for each CD in terms of, yes, each CD has the Beatles emblaze there, and track listings on the back. Those are the first 3, and then simply opens up like this, and we'll take a look inside, see what we got. And there you go with the number on the release date, November 22nd, 1968. Very nice. So this looks pretty comprehensive. Certainly a great overview for the Beatles White Album. And certainly nice with this, they're releasing lots of previously unreleased demos. Because certainly the Beatles, in the past, were always fairly reluctant to do that. And it's nice that they've finally kind of been a lot more open to it. I mean, the first real big official release we had that was with the Beatles Anthology, releasing extra tracks and whatnot. But now, certainly with the Sgt. Pepper's box and whatnot, that they've really kind of delved into the archives, if you will, with lots of stuff. Okay. And as I mentioned, certainly a comprehensive book. And certainly a difficult time of the band, like Ringo Starr feeling the frustrations in the studio, and he had quit the band, albeit very briefly. Certainly even George Harrison, feeling frustration with not getting enough material on. Okay. It's here and here. Alright, there you go. Okay, and then we've got something here that's got what I'm guessing are the famous photographs and the infamous poster. And that looks to be it. Okay, so we'll take that out. And that's just kind of tucked away in here. And so there we have, of course, John, Paul, George, and don't forget Ringo. There you go. And, of course, the great poster that was included with the original double album release. Certainly a very different poster, and you've likely seen some of the videos already with connection to this album. If you can, check out the one for Glass Onion. It is very creative, where they take some of the pictures from the poster and then kind of animate them into a very clever video. But here is the great poster. Odd poster, but there you go. And then, of course, with the lyrics on the back, like that. And very nice to see that those are included. I wasn't sure if they were going to include them or not. So they just slip in like that, and then the next is the rest of the CDs. Yeah, so then it's the rest of the CDs. Yeah, so the 6 CDs in total, and then the first 2 CDs plus the Blu-ray there. All right, so there you have it. Now, in terms of package overall, I think it's pretty nice. I know some have been a little bit disappointed that it wasn't in the same style as the Sgt. Pepper box. This one's a little bit smaller and more like a book kind of presentation. I don't really have a problem with that. I think it's kind of neat to have each one unique, and I can hardly wait to see what they're going to do with something like Abbey Road. I think that'll be pretty cool. I can show you what I mean just briefly here. So the big Sgt. Pepper's box was like this, again, with the slip case, but certainly a much, bigger package, that sort of thing overall. And then it compares to the size of this one. Here we go. So yeah, certainly a little bit smaller, but I don't know. I don't really have a problem with it. Certainly when you're dealing with such great material like this, it's hard to quibble. So certainly looking forward to diving into this. Lots to dive into this fall and winter. Again with the Beatles White Album. Again, an absolute classic. And when you're talking some of the sessions, and I understand that there's a really long version of Helter Skelter. I'm not sure which one it is. There's a Helter Skelter first version, take 2, that's on disc 4 sessions, and then there is also one Helter Skelter second version, take 17. I don't know which one, but reportedly one of them's a really nice bluesy long version of that. But you've got different takes on Blackbird, and certainly with the Usher demos, There's 27 tracks on disc 3 that include some of the stuff that wasn't included on the initial White Album, like Sour Milk Sea, Junk, of course, then Meet Mr. Mustard, Polythene Pam, which would later show up on Abbey Road. Also, the song Not Guilty, What's the New Mary Jane. So, again, lots to dive into with the Beatles White Album, the box set. Well, thanks again so much for stopping by, and we'll chat again real soon. And hit subscribe if you like what you see. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.